This is Nitesh and welcome to the starting video tutorial of Angular. We will cover the prerequisites for building a basic Angular app, and then we will learn some basic concepts about the Angular followed by a production level project. have imported the project to the Visual Studio Code, so which is totally free to use. This is the entire Angular project created for us. It contains many files and few of them are the configuration files which you don't need to touch them. Let's check package.json file. So this contains the third-party dependencies that our project needs to run. You can see there are many packages, and these are the dependencies which is required for our project to run smoothly, right? Our code is contained in the source file, so you can check the source file here where we need to make the changes. So go to app, you can see the HTML file here. So this is the HTML file that we have where we need to make the changes. Now we need to render this on the browser to check what exactly it provides the output. So for that, for running this program, just we need to go to the terminal. In MacBook, Command plus J is the shortcut for this terminal. In Windows, you can go for Alt plus J, or you do have the option of opening the terminal from the menu bar. Just go to the terminal section and then new terminal. So you will get this terminal here. Now to run this, to run the server, we need to type ngacrpe. If you want to run this on different port number, just use dash port, then the port number 4201. 4200 is the by default port number, but we are running currently on the by default port number. Just hit enter. It will take some time to compile this code. It is compiled successfully. Now it says we can open the browser and we can run this link. The by default port number is 4200. So just copy this and let's go to the browser. Just put it on the browser, hit it enter. You can see this is the by default code that we had in the HTML file is running on the browser at this by default port number. Let's go back to the code. Now we will need to make some changes. Just delete it completely. Let's start from the fresh. Now you will see it will render on this browser. There is empty, nothing. So just let a p tag. You can write letters 1 Angular. You can see that these text files are getting rendered on the browser. Now you can also put one text file to look it more attractive. Input type as text. You can have this. So we can have one input file here. It's taking time to compile. You can see here we can put anything. So this is the HTML file where we need to make changes and then it will render on the browser. Now there is one more file, that is app component.ts. .ts is TypeScript. So this file contains the variables and the components for this application. So you can see this is the variable, the title, which contains the base app. What we can do, we can read these variables from the TypeScript file to the HTML file. Let's print this. Now you can see we are able to read this title variable here, the base app, which we are reading from the app component.ts, which the so now what we can do, we can change the name, which is my name, Nitish, and now you will see it won't change here because we have changed the variable name from title to name. So now we need to access this variable. So for accessing any variable that is dynamically in this HTML code, we need to have this expression. We need to write within this double curly braces. So just say name. Now to fetch my name from that variable. So now we'll see here my name will pop up. See exactly this is. So now you're ready with your first application that you can use and you can make the changes. Now we are done with the basic changes. Now we looked into the data binding, right? So what exactly is data binding? In data binding, we are binding the data into some different forms, different variables. For example, we will insert some data inside this text box, and then we will try to bind this data to this name variable here, which is Nitish. That is my name. So for binding the data from this input text box to this variable, what we can do, we can use the ng model for that. So just do not worry about that. We will cover in detail these things. This is just the basic that we are covering. So ng model is equal to just name the variable that you're going to bind with. So in this case this is name, right? So we are just binding this input text data with this name variable which is mentioned here, right? So what you can see, the data is not getting reflected, so something needs to be done, right? So we need to add some dependencies. So just go to app.model.ts and import forms module. If it is available, no, just add this. So we need to have a package file from where we are importing this from. Wait, Angular, then forms is the name of the package. Now we need to copy this and put this into the import section. So now we are done with this importing of, okay, now we're done with the import, and now we go to this HTML file. If everything is good, this looks good. So this is not the form model, I just same model, it has been imported here. Yes, now you can see the changes here. Whatever the data that we have in this text box, that is binded with this name variable, right? So what exactly we can test it using, how we can see. So this is kind of magic, right? So that's it, and we will check all these functionalities in details in the next upcoming tutorials, like ng model and the different files, what is the use of that, what is node, more details about these node modules, these packages file, how to import this, how to use it appropriately in your application in the upcoming tutorials. And at last we will be done with some production level projects, like we will be cloning Facebook with this hover effects, the CSS and the React.js application. In the backend we will use the Firebase and the NoSQL database for making this application. Also we are going to clone this Amazon website using the React.js in the upcoming tutorials. So just subscribe this and also share it with your friends.